live right in front of our live studio audience here at Ball Arena. This was a game that, for the longest time, seemed like a Denver Nuggets masterclass, a wire-to-wire domination that had the home crowd buzzing. And then, in the blink of an eye, it turned into a dogfight, a battle of wills that saw the Nuggets trailing by 2 in the final minute. Just when it seemed like the momentum had completely shifted, Christian Braun emerged as the hero, delivering in the clutch. But when the dust settled, when the clock struck 0 and the numbers flashed across the scoreboard, the only thing left to say was, "Oh, my God, what did Nikola Jokić just do?" Because what he did wasn't just historic. It was the kind of performance that etches itself into NBA lore. A 31-point, 22-assist, 21-rebound masterpiece. The first 30-20-20 game in NBA history. Let that sink in. Decades of basketball. Countless Hall of Famers. Legends who redefined the game. And yet no one, not Wilt, not Russell, not Magic, not Bird, had ever produced a stat line like this. Jokić didn't just rewrite the record books. He forced them to create an entirely new chapter. And here's the wildest part. He did it effortlessly. He attempted just 3 free throws. 3. That's the kind of efficiency that borders on the surreal. Some centers don't put up those numbers in a week. Some guards don't dish out 22 assists in a month. And yet, Jokić crafted this masterpiece in a single night, against a Phoenix Suns team featuring 3 elite scorers in Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. And he made it look routine. From the opening tip, it was clear Jokić was locked in. By the end of the first quarter, he had already flirted with a triple-double, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. And from there, it was a symphony of dominance. The Suns didn't have an answer. They didn't throw the exotic defenses other teams had experimented with lately. They tried to go at Jokić straight up, and he made them pay for it possession after possession. The beautiful mind produced a beautiful game, and the entire basketball world took notice. This was no ordinary performance. This was an MVP statement. In a season where debates rage on about who deserves the crown, about who truly impacts winning at the highest level, Jokić put on a show on national television in front of the entire world. When you talk about MVP moments, the kind of nights that define legacies, this was one of them. And he did it against one of the most decorated players in the league in Durant, against an elite scorer in Booker, against a 3-time All-Star in Beal. This wasn't empty stats against a rebuilding team. This was a statement against a contender. And the Nuggets, they continue to prove their resilience. With this win, Denver moves to a perfect 5-0 in overtime games this season. When the game extends past regulation, when the pressure is at its peak, this team finds another gear. They execute. They find the open man. They trust their system. And when it came down to it, they trusted Christian Braun, who delivered in the biggest moments of his young career. Braun finished with 25 points, but it was the timing of his shots that made the difference. That crucial 3 to put Denver ahead late in regulation? Cold-blooded. The dagger in overtime. Ice in his veins. The play design was pristine. Jamal Murray drawing 2 defenders, the ball swinging to Jokić, forcing the Suns to collapse, and Braun left wide open to rise and fire. Perfect execution. Perfect trust. Championship-level basketball. And speaking of shooting, this was a night where Denver simply couldn't miss. A season-high 21 three-pointers, Aaron Gordon tying a career high with 7, Braun hitting 4 of his 5 attempts. When the Nuggets shoot like this, when they space the floor and make defenses pay for doubling Jokić, they're nearly impossible to beat. The spacing allows Jokić to work his magic, and when those shots are falling, opposing teams are left with no good answers. As the game ended, as the crowd erupted in appreciation, as the studio audience rose to its feet in a well-deserved standing ovation, it was clear, we are witnessing greatness. We may never see another player like Nikola Jokić. The numbers, the vision, the feel for the game. It's a combination so unique, so special, that even his peers can't help but marvel. The man is one of one. In the locker room, the message was clear. This was a learning experience, a test of poise, a chance for a team that has only played 17 games together with this lineup to build chemistry in high-pressure situations. Michael Malone reminded his squad after Durant's game-tying 3. "Fellas, we didn't lose. Pick your heads up. We've got 5 minutes to play. And play they did, scoring 24 points in 5 minutes, executing flawlessly when it mattered most. But in the end, the story of the night was Jokić. His 31-22-21 line is something out of a video game, something so absurd that even NBA 2K players would struggle to replicate it. And yet, for those who have watched him night after night, it feels almost expected. That's the level of excellence he operates at. That's the standard he has set. The MVP race may still be up for debate, but nights like this, they leave no doubt.